Hello and Assalamu alaikum. This is Abrar Rashid with another video about UAE employment contract, and this employment law basically is going to be enforced by the end of this year 2023. What is this new employment contract between employee and employer working within UAE? And I know that most of the people who work within UAE, and they have to have a certain employment contract which can vary from 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years and beyond, but the government of UAE has decided to enforce certain law regarding this contract, and I hope this is going to be beneficial for all those who are already working in UAE or planning to work in UAE with any organization which they may opt in future. And I have written down a certain salient features. The Ministry of Human Resources and Amortization, which is responsible for relationship between employee and employer, has announced that the deadline, the Ministry of Human Resources and Amortization has announced that the deadline for correcting the current conditions granted to employers, especially regarding the transfer of work contracts concluded and signed between worker and the employer, will be extended from indefinite term employment contracts to fixed term employment contracts until December 31st, 2023. This means that now any employer or employee, those who enter into a contract, that contract should not be and will not be for indefinite period. It has to be specified between certain time frame. That means that it should be for a year, 2 years or 3 years, and after the expiry of that contract, then with the mutual agreement of both parties, that is employer and employees, that contract can be renewed for further 1 year, 2 year or 3 years, and this will be applicable by December 31st, 2023. That means this year. This new law was enforced or came into effect on February 2nd, 2022, but the government, the UAE government and Ministry of Human Resources and Amortization had given ample time to the employers and employees to enforce this contract with the passage of time. And I'm not sure what is the logic or reason behind this new law, because I don't think that there is any contract between employee or employer that it goes for indefinite period. Mostly contracts are signed maximum for 3 years, a minimum for 1 year, or in some cases 6 months. So according to the new decision, the transfer of work, which is very important, the transfer of work contracts concluded and signed between workers and employers in the private sector will be extended from indefinite term employment contracts to fixed term employment contracts. As I said, that it cannot go for indefinite period, so the period should be specified like 1 year, 2 year, and maximum, I think according to this law, is 3 years. And the transfer, for example, if employee wants to move to another job, or employer wants his employee and agrees that employee wants to move to another job, to another company, and then that employee will have to sign another contract, not for indefinite period but for specified period, as and as I said that this law will be applicable or enforced by the end of this year. I don't know if this is beneficial for employee or the employer, but definitely the government of UAE thinks that it will be beneficial for employees and employers. So a specified time period will benefit those. I hope that this video or information will benefit all those who are already working in UAE or planning to move there to work there. But this is the new labor law of UAE. But before I end my video, I would request you to not forget to subscribe to this channel, and if there is a demand, I would definitely love to do this video, regarding this law, into Urdu as well, Urdu or Hindi, but I think that English is widely known and understood within UAE and all those who plan to move to UAE in order to work there. So far, this is it. Have a nice day. Goodbye.